I did, but
I know. We said Gabe was in at the last minute, but Tom, you beat him again.
As is my way.
This is your way. But Gabe, welcome back to Tea Time.
Yes,
Thanks.
welcome back.
They're loving it. And now you have the freedom to like talk about whatever your little heart desires.
Could be
So
dangerous.
it
Could be
could be
dangerous.
Here's what you're going to find though. Kind of like what I do sometimes. I feel guilty if I'm not talking about somebody's books that's on here.
Feel guilty, Gabe. Feel guilty.
Feel guilty.
we're
I
gonna be
just went to
lobbying.
small publishers. Nothing but small publishers.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
that's
that.
good. That's
I
great.
love that. I
I
love
lie.
that.
I lie.
I lie. You're lying. All
Right.
right. Okay, I've read for the first time. Okay, I know I shouldn't be admitting this, but for the first time, Tom, because we do this thing with CBS, our local San Diego news
Affiliate.
affiliate. Thank you for the word. Affiliate. We do a quarterly book club with them. So we did Don Winslow, we did Mona Awed. We're doing T. Jefferson Parker on Thursday.
Oh, that's great.
And I never read Jeff before. Jeff, I hope you're not reading this.
It's so even if Jeff is watching, you're now reading.
Yes. So it's going to be so fun. And I've read, and it's just like, it's so good to know what everybody's all been, what the hype of T. Jeff has been over the years.
He's one of the best.
He is. So now, Gabe, the fun part of this is we have access to the chat. So you get to chat with people like live and right away. And Beth's already like, Gabe's here. And then she put to commemorate on the fall of democracy.
We haven't even gotten to that, have
We're
we?
going to try not to do. We're going to try. I said earlier, this is not vodka, but maybe it should be. This water. So.
My first book, you might read between the lines, is all I'm saying.
All right. Well, there we go. But I'm so glad to see a full house here today with our reps and all of you that are watching. And if you're watching on the recording later, thank you for watching that. So here we go. So it's going to go Liz, Andrea, Julia, Gabe, Tom. So let me see. I think I need to give everybody the screen share. They can share their screen if they'd like.
We
So
can. And I would
Liz,
like.
you would like? Take it
I
away.
would like. And here we go, talking about Tom's only heard me talk about the same books over and over again.
I love hearing about them, Liz. They all sound so good.
Well, that is the right answer. So Oliver Sacks, our most beloved neurologist, who passed away in 2015, but this is an amazing collection of his letters. And these are letters that are so personal, so revealing from when he was, young and left England for America, writing to his parents, his brother who is schizophrenic, just really trying to find out who he is as a person, also writing with patients and also correspondences with, celebrities. And of course, Robin Williams played him in Awakenings. He has such a long backlist too that I'm hoping I featured some of our most popular on the slide. Gratitude, for one. This is a great month to pick up gratitude as well. But the review in the New York Times this past weekend, Dwight Garner said these first 200 pages are some of the best that he's read in all year or in years. And I agree. And that doesn't mean that the rest of the book isn't also wonderful, but you are just going to be amazed and surprised picking up this book. Talks about his drug experimentation in San Francisco, his time in Los Angeles. He loved riding motorcycles. I mean, he's just an iconoclast and such a brilliant mind. And they date from the 1960s, beginning in San Francisco. There are 342 letters here, and they were chosen by his longtime assistant, Kate Edgar. So again, everything has such a personal touch to the compiling of this book. And I think that it will, even if you have never read Oliver Sacks before or don't really know his work, it's just one of these everything books in my mind. So there you go.
Love it.
Mhm.
And it sounds like it's a good one it could be a good gift book too. Let's see.
Definitely.
Do that.
He's a thinker. He's definitely a thinker, and it's just people like that. You want to explore their minds and what they have to talk about. So he's I was around when we back when the days of old, when people bought paperback books from other houses. We published Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, and I mean, we sold millions of copies of that book back then, and I think still
He's a
relevant.
phenomena. He's a
Yeah,
phenomena.
yeah, and he stuck around, but he's a pretty brilliant guy.
I
All
love
righty.
I love letter collections because you really it's a deep dive on somebody's sensibilities. So it's going to be a pretty fascinating look, I think.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, speaking of Andrea, you take it away.
Right. I want to talk about 4 Points of the Compass, the unexpected history of direction. It's officially out tomorrow. It's already on sale at Warwick's. A couple copies have already gone out the door into people's collections or into the early stack of gifts in the closet. So this is the author of A History of the World in 12 Maps. So definitely somebody who's interested in, and that was a New York Times bestseller, by the way. But this guy is definitely somebody who's interested in like cartography, etc. And this is I think this book will make readers think about the world in a different way, which all good microhistory should do, right? He really takes you on a journey. And he talks about the history of the four directions on a compass, and how before the compass was invented, the four cardinal points were based on the four winds.
Oh.
Isn't that fascinating?
Yes.
I did not know that until sales conference for this fall list, and I think that's a fascinating point. He also talks about how the 4 points of the compass are, or the four directions, north, south, east, and west, mean different things in different cultures. So for Western culture, like, heading west and everything is it's a good thing, right? Go west, young man, and it means looking forward to the future. But the West in some cultures is heading towards death and to the other side. So it's full of all that sort of really interesting tidbits. It is elegantly written. It's gorgeously designed. There's an insert of color photographs, and not photographs, but also charts, art from across the ages. I just think that this is a very one of those books that you have somebody on your holiday list that this book will work for. I know you do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's one of those books that you're going to learn a lot, even if you already know about the directions. And also one interesting thing that he adds is that since GPS technology has come into our lives, there is a fifth cardinal direction in it, and that's the little dot, the blue dot on our phones, and that is kind of changing the way we understand directions, and in that process it disassociates directions from the natural world. So that's kind of he touches on that, and it's something to think about and what that means going forward. But anyway, this book is pretty great. 4 Points of the Compass, hardcover at $27. And gosh darn it, I think this is a winner for the holidays.
Agree. Okay, wait a minute. The little blue dot, does that mean like where I'm at? Is that what you're referring to? Like it's all centered around where you're at versus where you mean it's concentric about me?
I think it's an interesting point, and I never really thought.
For sure. It comes back to it's all about me. Huh. God. Is there anything else out there? All right. Okay, Julia.
Okay. Sorry to be the first one to
no sorries here. No
break
sorries.
this.
No sorries here.
I like that. No sorries, no sorries on tea time.
No
No sorries in
sorries.
tea time. But I'm going to talk about something that maybe we don't want to talk about. But we have coming out tomorrow the ABCs of Democracy by Hakeem Jeffries,
Love it.
who will be with a wish and a prayer will be the Speaker of the House, but maybe the Senate Minority Leader by just a sliver. And this is based on a speech he gave after January the 6th. And it is sort of it's like an adult book or a kid's book for adults, of like like it says, the ABCs of democracy. So it's kind of, I think, a fun book that actually has a lot to say about sort of American values, about doing good rather than being a bigot. So I think even if we're not ready to sort of face everything right now, maybe having something that reminds us that we are Americans and that means something. And it could mean something great if we let it, and if we fight for it, then possibly this is a good one to have. And maybe even leading the holidays a good one to give people, to remind them of that, because I think we're going to need some reminders in the coming years. So
Definitely reminders, but education about it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing is that I just think that there's a lot of people that truly don't understand how all of this works and what it all means. And if you look at the top Google searches after the election, might lead people to believe that they might not understand how this all works. Just saying. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, and the simplicity of that book is perfect for the moment, I think.
Kind of like, what was it, Schoolhouse Rock? What did we all used to watch when we were little?
Schoolhouse Rock, yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock, yeah. I mean, how to make a bill. I mean, I used to
Yeah.
know it's a bill, it's a bill.
On Capitol Hill.
On
Yeah.
Capitol Hill. All right. Okay, Gabe, we get to hear from Gabe. Oh, wait, you're not going to make me do this, are you, Gabe? You're not going to make me say it.
Say
Are you
it,
gonna-
Billy. Say
We're
it.
gonna have to say it.
He knows. He knows. You're not gonna have to say it.
I think I'm gonna have to say it. Gabe, you gotta unmute yourself.
Watch your mouth, Gabe.
Luckily, I got it out before I got on. I don't even know what day it is half the time.
Exactly.
This retired thing.
Exactly. Good for you on that.
See, I got to change on my computer, and it's not doing what I want it to do.
Damn it.
Okay, I'm not going to share screen, but I'm going to just flash you an image then.
Okay.
But Black Ball, and then this is just not in paperback. It's Julia's book. I don't know if you've talked about it before. Probably talked about the hardback, but it just came out in paperback. And I was just looking at my stuff to talk, books to talk about. But I think this is a great paperback gift for any basketball fan. Also, with considering how things are, a good look at racism that existed, and the struggles of the black ball players in the 1970s. Late 60s and 70s coming up, allowing to be themselves, trying to get real money and trying to get treated like human beings. It's a really interesting story, but it's really, I think there's all that in there, but it's a really good look at various characters of the NBA. So if you're a basketball fan of a certain age, or if you harken back and you want to read a little bit about the earlier days of basketball as it was really starting to grow, the phenomenon started to get more popular. This is really a pivotal time. But just the cast of characters that they go through I think it's really a lot of fun. It's a page turner. You can rip right through it. So I think as a paperback, it's a nice stocking stuffer for any reader of sports books. And they get a little lesson at the same time.
That's always a good thing.
I also think if people are sort of new to the WNBA, some of the same conversations are happening now in the WNBA that were happening then. And so it's a nice history of the sport to look at, and to sort of frame conversations around the WNBA too.
Love it. Thanks, Gabe. Okay, Tom. Tom, don't make me say it.
Oh, I was so
Tom,
blown away. I was so blown away by Gabe that
This is classic.
lost my, or maybe it's just in the air. I don't
it's only
know.
I
been
don't
four
know.
I don't know
years,
what day it
Julie.
is. What day is it?
We are falling apart. Literally.
I did that on purpose, Julie.
Okay,
No, I
Tom.
did.
Always the
Okay.
jokester, Tom.
A little gaslighting there.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
How to Let Things Go.
Uh,
Out tomorrow. Great little trim size. It's 99 tips from a Zen Buddhist monk to relinquish control and free yourself up for what matters. So it just felt like it feels great in your hands. It felt like I'm so happy it's coming out tomorrow. I've been spending time with it over the weekend. So it was originally published in Japan. It's been an international phenomenon, sold over 350,000 copies in Japan. Now it's being, published all over the world. Great. It is a great small trim hardcover gift book. Um, He's the author of The Art of Simple Living and Don't Worry. Also, all titles we can embrace. But it's, I obviously there are I could read just about any chapter, and they're
We're
very
just gonna
short.
quit. We're gonna quit tea time right now. We're just gonna have Tom do dramatic reading for the
That's
rest
right.
of tea time.
Yeah, I could do that. It's because each chapter is one page. So by the end of tea
By the
time,
end of time,
right.
we're just gonna have a dramatic reading for the
But we
rest of
start
tea
with
time.
like part one. Don't get overly involved. Part two, don't worry about every little thing. Part three, be measured in your reactions. Part four, don't waste your energy. Part five, don't see everything as black and white. You get the picture.
And
It's
we'll see that in all of our inbox or all of our mailboxes.
that's right. I'll make sure everybody has a copy.
Talk about a great gift book.
I know exactly. We all need to slow down, and most of these things we know, but we forget in the day to day. He's the head monk at a 450-year-old Zen temple, renowned Zen garden designer, and I think just the person we need tomorrow in our bookstores. How to Let Things Go.
That's perfect. In fact, I can't remember what our event. Amanda, you could put it in the chat. We're having a similar event Wednesday night. Because I kind of had a feeling where we're gonna need something like that.
Well, and I was just thinking about that. I don't know whether like this is like perfectly timed. Someone had a feeling maybe, or maybe just
Either way, hey,
there's always a
either-
book for the moment.
and either side of the losing party on that would feel the need for that.
That's right. Yeah.
So either side of that coin would need that
Yeah.
recommendation.
Yeah.
I just have to say, I've realized how addicted I am to this thing because my brain tells me not to look at this stuff, and I just can't help it. It's like I get so mad because it's like, just stop.
I'm getting you. I'm messengering. I'm driving this book down tonight, Julie.
You'll be here in 2
No, I
hours.
can't waste a minute. You've got to start. You've got to.
I
Maybe
swear to
maybe
God.
we need more books, the format, the dimensions of an iPhone.
Exactly.
That's
God.
right, just for that feel. Well, Julie, this chapter I just opened randomly to said even monks get angry sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, well, that makes me feel better.
then this page will tell you how to deal with that.
Julia, yay on that. Okay, are you at Blue Sky? Did you go to Blue Sky? Okay.
I did that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I couldn't be on Twitter anymore.
At Blue Sky. So see, there's a part of me though. There's a sick part of me that wants to know what the other side. I don't want to live in a vacuum. So I want to see what everybody's saying. So that's my only, but I think I'm lying to myself on
But
that.
how is
Yeah, I mean,
that
it's-
helping?
I don't know.
It's the
Is anybody on Threads?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying Blue Sky, and maybe I can just kick the whole habit, but
Okay. There we go. I kind of like that. All right. I digress. Okay, Liz, what you got for
me.
us? It's you.
Okay.
You're up
Yeah,
next.
yeah. I am going to take us into the land of fiction and Charles Baxter, his 13th novel. And sort of satirical, definitely hilarious, but also poignant because it talks about the dangers of medical technology. So, it's in the laughter is the best medicine category, which we can all use. So our main character is Brock Hobson. He's an insurance salesman, a divorced father of teenagers. He's a Sunday school teacher. This, like all other Charles Baxter books, is set in the Midwest. This is in Ohio. He's got a girlfriend. His life is going, okay, status quo. And then the first line of the novel, which is, let's say you stabbed yourself in the leg by accident, takes him to urgent care where he's offered, where his doctor says, why don't you take this blood test that's sort of a genetic, test. And it tells him that he is going to commit murder. And so the most likely candidate he can think of is his ex-wife's boyfriend, who's completely annoying. And it just kind of goes on from there, this darkly comic look at suburban life, and also just these disturbing possibilities of knowing too much, but also fate, determinism, free will, these philosophical questions that are woven in so beautifully into really all of Charles Baxter's novels. He's great. It's an Indie Next pick, great reviews. It's available now. I know you have it in the store. So enter this world, and I think you'll be laughing.
I can't believe
I
he's still publishing Charles Baxter. I mean, I read him in the early 80s, for
I
goodness.
know, with Through the Safety Net was his first collection of short stories. He's just got a great imagination. Not magical realism or anything like that. It's totally contemporary society, but with a twist, and he's so good.
love it. Okay, I have to read some of the comments because I know that we now in the panelists here, we can see the comments and everything, but people who are watching it on YouTube later don't see the comments, so I'm going to read some of them too. So they don't get them. They
There's
don't
some
get.
good ones, yeah.
Yeah, there's some good ones going on. So I do have to read some of them. So I love that there's a lot of people that have deleted Twitter. And some did it actually the day after. So kudos to all of you that have done that because I think it's all better for everybody's mental health. So there we go. Some people are on Mastodon. Some people go on Blue Sky. So
And
that's good.
is Beth in Minnesota? I love that
Yes.
oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah. Oh no, Beth. Okay, Beth is like Beth's famous, Liz.
Yeah, she
You
is.
might not
Okay.
know that Beth is famous. She was in the oh God, was it Rebecca Mackay?
Hey, Rebecca Mackay.
The Rebecca Mackay was,
I have some
Oh,
questions, right?
yeah. So Beth is a local celebrity for all of us, and
it
she has
seems
been with
she
us with Tea
knows Charles
Time.
Baxter, and
Yeah.
anyway, that's
And
very
all kinds
cool.
of stuff. So we actually have, it's very interesting, Liz. We have a lot of people that are from literally around the country in this. I mean, it's not just Southern California that's on. In fact,
Because
it's mainly
Warwick
us.
is a savior in dark times.
We came in and we saved everybody, and we'll continue to do it. Continue bringing you books. All right, Andrea, what do you got?
Oh, goodness. The Story of the Forest.
That's a great cover. Sorry, I just have to say that right off the bat.
I agree. This is a novel by the acclaimed British novelist Linda Grant. And this is on Zando's SJP Lit imprint. That's Sarah Jessica Parker, who has a darn good eye and a good track record on the books that she's bringing to the Zando publishing world. And this is an epic and very entertaining family saga. It's intergenerational in the best ways possible. And it follows the European Jewish experience from World War I to the present day. That, as the Financial Times says, let me see here, let me look at my notes, constantly moves forward even as it looks sorrowfully back. And it's based on the author's own family experience and legends. You know how that is. There's myths, there's mythology in families. Because of that, it takes on a bit of a fabulous streak, which is nice. And I it's just one of those kind of novels that you can get lost in, and I think that's maybe something that people might want to do right now. $28 hardcover. And this is out tomorrow. And we've got stock at Warwick's for you. And I think that's about it. And
Okay.
I love that cover.
Love that cover. And actually, Mary, one of our great booksellers, was asking me specifically about that book the other day, and I said, I don't know anything about it. So I'm glad that you talked about it today. So now we all know. And I do love, Amanda, what you said, and yes, Tea Time is saving, but I think all of our people who are watching us on Tea Time are actually saving us too. So thank you for everybody who watches us, because yeah, it's a mutual admiration society here for sure. And I do love, if any of you are ever near any of you, all let each other know. We'll facilitate it. Let us know, and let us know at Warwick's, and we'll get you out there to everybody. All right, Julia, what you got?
Okay, my next one also is it's called We Will Rest: The Art of Escape by Tricia Hershey. And her previous book is Rest is Resistance. And sort of about this one, like Rest is Resistance, they're both about sort of how you must rest as you resist, as you fight for justice, for a better world. And this one is it's sort of a connection. It's like it's got healing meditations, it's got poetry, it's got stories about sort of rest as resistance. And this one looks at sort of getting out of the toxic grind culture, and taking moments for yourself, and making sure that, as you're living your life, you're taking moments to sort of stop and be with people, and be without people, and all of the things that you need to do in order to sort of get yourself through without burning out. And so I think in this week and in this time, this book really is helpful. And it's funny, when I first came to Hachette, Rest is Resistance was a huge bestseller, and I didn't really know about it, and I read through a good chunk of it, and I just it's so many things that I needed to hear. And I feel like, for those of you, everyone on this call pretty much has known me a very long time, and this job that I have at Hachette now is sort of the most I allow myself to rest. I used to not really rest at all, and as you guys know, and it does help, allowing yourself time to do your things and your hobbies and things that really refresh you does help. And so these two books have really helped me, and so I hope they also help you.
I love it. I was thinking my daughter needs that, so I will be looking for those at the store. We'll be sending those to Chicago. All right. Okay, Gabe.
All right, I'm unmuted.
You're unmuted. Okay, check.
There's
check.
the share button.
Okay,
Like
check.
Grandpa Gabe here. Yay. So Shy Creatures by Claire Chambers is I guess on sale tomorrow. I lucked out. I have a copy, but I have that. So I'm a big fan of Claire Chambers. I read Small Pleasures a couple years ago, was published at Harper, and something about the voice and something about the characters, if you like, that reminded me a little of Ann Tyler, and not in tone necessarily, but in the kind of characters that she has. They're a little out there, and they're a little bit visibly, definitely out there, but they work. You see them as real people. So they have all these glitches, and then she does the same in Shy Creature. So she's one of these writers that writes a great story. This is maybe a little more comparable, I think, to one of my other favorites, Tessa Hadley. It's a little quieter, maybe. I don't know. You got to read both to discuss the endings. Small Pleasures ending, I think, is something to talk about. But just an author that I really like. I think if you just want something substantial, that is fun to read, populated with good characters that you can like. It's getting dark early. You might want to lay in bed an extra half hour. This is the book you want to do that with. It's Saturday afternoon. You want to, wrap yourself up in that caftan, uneven caftan your aunt or your grandmother made for you.
Or me.
And a cup of chocolate or tea or coffee, whatever your drink of choice is. And that's just what she's good for. It's just good fun. I just read, and I'll talk about it later, the new William Gabriel's Moon it's one of Andrea's books. African writer.
William Boyd.
William Boyd. Yeah, William Boyd. Picked it up in Amsterdam, and it was out. They had signed copies, and it was just so atmospheric. It just sucked me in. I had so much fun reading that book, and that's what this does. She just creates a great atmosphere that sucks you in, and you're in this great world. And the words are terrifically popping off the page. Just a lot to like with Claire Chambers. So Small Pleasures is out. It's been available in paperback, and the Shy Creatures out tomorrow.
And Beth is on here saying that she said Small Pleasures was wonderful. So she's
Thank
a
you.
fan.
I talked about it many years ago.
Yeah, I remember that cover. That was such a great cover. And the new cover is really good too. And I'm so excited for the William Boyd.
So I thought it was really
I love him.
He's not always that great, but this one was just satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's back in the groove right now with that. I loved the old school stuff from the 90s. And
okay, Andrea, you told me about one from the 90s, and I tried to find it, and it's like completely out of print everywhere. I can't remember what the title was that you told me it is.
Human Heart?
Yes.
That should be in print. No?
I swear to God, I couldn't find it. Any Human Heart.
Oh, yeah.
That should never go out of print. That is a serious crime right there.
Yeah, that is a crime.
Publishing crime.
And Restless. Is that available still? Restless?
I don't know the Restless. And Restless was another one of my favorites. I loved Restless.
Really good book. Yeah, that's the kind of I felt about Gabriel's Moon. It just sucked me.
I'd like to say publishers don't commit crimes like that, but they do.
They do.
It's not impossible.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why he came over to Grove, because he was not being treated well by certain.
Well, we won't.
I was afraid you were going to get there. And
we won't. That's not now. Kids.
Small indie publishing.
Now, kids. All right, Tom. Yeah. Speaking of big publishers, Tom, tell us what's going to go out.
Okay, big publisher speaking. We have a now from Berkeley.
Rep fight.
I trust their rom-coms. That's all I can say. They know rom-coms. Pickleballers tomorrow in paperback. Do I need to say anything else?
I don't think you need to say another word.
We know that. Do we know? I mean, we should know that sports rom-coms are all the rage. I could be wrong. Someone please correct me if I am, or don't actually. I don't think there's a lot of. There's hockey. There's every sport is being covered, but maybe pickleball maybe hasn't. We don't have a lot of pickleball romances yet. I'm hoping. The early reviews are really good. Kirkus calls it in a starred review, calls it a funny, feel-good adventure you won't want to miss. Publishers Weekly says readers won't have to be fans of the sport to appreciate this charming love story. But Long's irresistible descriptions of gameplay may inspire newcomers to take to the court themselves. So the sport that is sweeping the nation now has a rom-com. Pickleballers.
Tom, I'm not going to bash any of your books. I never would. But I think the average age of a pickleballer is like 65. Okay.
I don't know. I don't have.
It's not true.
I think it's not true because.
Oh my gosh, so many young people. One of our own young publicists left to start a whole pickleball thing in New York.
Really? Okay. All right.
Right.
Because I guess it must be around here. There, I do live in the suburbs.
No, I know. My aunt was. Yes.
I think it is maybe started out that way, but now it is. It's a bigger range of diverse ages.
Oh
but like every older person I know that plays it has dislocated their shoulder playing it.
No, or torn their Achilles tendon. And like, oh my God, like the first time they go out. It's like, anyways.
My buddy
I was
Mike is
just-
recuperating from tennis elbow because of his aggressive pickleballing that he's doing.
Okay.
Every time.
Just,
Come on, man. He used to be an
I'm
athlete.
sorry. I just
That's why
had to
that's
go.
why young people need to play this sport.
Just the comments. Oh my God. So sorry.
I love
about
the
that,
character,
Tom.
the illustration. The cover is pretty hilarious. I wish you'd flash that one more
I know
time.
it's not the best
Oh.
print
No,
out
the
of that,
hair,
but there they
the
are.
like
hair.
Cruella DeVille shot.
Love it. And of
Well,
course-
maybe they're trying. To my point,
And of course, every one of these has to have lots of puns. This is, of course, this says
Nicole
love at first
Kidman.
serve, but it's
Okay.
filled with them.
oh my God, I was doing, whose grids was I doing? I was doing the Harper grids the other day, and I can't remember what it was, but it was one of the, I mean, I had the whole back office dying on the pun. I'll see if I know I won't be able to find it this time, but oh my God, the puns have just gotten completely out of control.
About pickleball?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't pickle, just
Oh.
the
The titles.
rom-com
The
puns
rom-com
and the
puns,
titles.
yeah.
The titles are
Yeah.
just like, I mean, the whole back office was just like, you got to be kidding me. It was way too funny. My old brain isn't remembering.
So this is what some of us at big publishers are doing, pickleballers.
Oh, I kind of I love you, Tom. I love it.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so
one of my small publishers will be doing like a like dark fantasy fantasy over the like pickleball now. It's like gonna okay, I can see it happen.
Yeah, you
It's
can see it
happening.
now.
it's happening.
We're spreading.
All right.
Spray
Eat
that.
pickles. Yes, it's like yes. If we can eat pickles, Julia, if it had anything to do with pickles, I'd be all in. But somehow it doesn't. All right. And so okay, Amanda, I see that you put a link to Any Human Heart, but when I went to Ingram, 0 and order 0 there. So I don't know how we can get it. Maybe Vintage does still have it in. Maybe Liz can look after she
Wait,
talks.
which book? What?
Any
Oh,
Human Heart.
Is it vintage?
It's
I'll make
vintage.
a note.
Because that's why I was just like I couldn't even order it. So I don't know.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
inquire.
All right. So anyways, Liz, it's your turn for when we're on I think
We're on lightning round.
We're on lightning now. Yeah.
Oh, we're
Okay.
still doing that?
Yeah, well, a loosely defined lightning.
Not for you, Gabe. Not for
Yeah.
you.
Don't have to,
Loosely
Gabe.
defined, and we don't have a clock, so
But my
All right.
lightning round book is kind of serious, but serious fun. This is my holiday pick. This is one of those great nonfiction um, dives into a piece of music, Handel's Messiah, which is arguably the greatest piece of participatory art ever created. This is the story about the men and women behind this work in the 18th century. A work of joy born in the context of Britain's empire, which was mired in war, enslavement, conflicts over everything from the legitimacy of government to the meaning of truth. So this is set amidst royal intrigue, theater scandals, political conspiracy, and our author just brings it all to life, all of these different characters. Of course, at the center stage is Handel himself, who was composer to kings, but at the time of this composition in midlife, he was in ill health and straining to keep an audience's attention. So you'll learn about this, like I said, this cast of characters: a penniless philanthropist, an African Muslim man who was held captive in the American colonies, a dissenter, just a whole array, but just so beautifully written. It's one of our rep favorites on this list, and for the holidays, an Indie Next Pick, Editor's Choice at the New York Times, on and on. You'll just keep hearing more about this.
I love it because that was one that was actually on the on your grids and stuff, and I think I marked it as anticipating that one. So
Right.
yeah, love that. So
I
okay,
got a
and
copy of that downstairs ready to go. It
there
looks
you go.
really
You might
fun.
be reviewing that too, huh?
It looks really fun.
All right.
Ooh.
I'm doing two nonfiction titles for the gift giving season for the people on your list that like nonfiction. This is Thinking Like a Wolf, Lessons from the Yellowstone Packs by Rick McIntyre, who has done a whole series on the wolves of Yellowstone based on his very well received field work. This is from Greystone Books, one of our north of the border indie presses that we deal with. They are very strong in the nature writing category, and this series is no different. This is book 5 in that award-winning Alpha Wolves of Yellowstone series. And this follows 8 major wolf personalities in the packs that he's been following. And it draws on decades of field notes to uncover the challenges and triumphs of these really majestic, sorry, Amanda, magisterial wolves.
Been a while since it's been a while.
Yes. And he's basically the chief historian of the this famous wolf population. It's really the most famous wolf population in the United States right now. And it's full of charts, photographs, and then this is the series. You can see the whole series here. Let me see. I'm gonna look. Here's a note. Here's a little blurb from Jane Goodall. Rick's writing is so vivid, so powerful that I feel I have been right there with him among the wolves of Yellowstone. And here's another little a nice endorsement. And the thing that really I was very surprised to learn this during our last field rep call on Friday afternoon, that this book is one of the swiftest selling titles of any of our publishers that I work with right now. And so that says something in the indies. The people are really coming to this book. And so, I think there's a reason for that. And so, especially because McIntyre can really write. So,
Yeah.
So there you go.
Love it. And Amanda put out that it's the forwards by Franz de Waal.
Yes.
So that's a big deal too, she said.
Yes. Thank you for I was too worried about getting magisterial in there, Amanda, that I forgot. I failed to talk about that. Thank you.
Well, she's marking the virtual chalkboard and says that you can't say it again until winter now. So I love it. You guys and that word. But no, the wolves, yeah, like you said, the most famous. I mean, I even know about them in Yellowstone, and I don't follow that stuff very much. So, okay, did you all see that I found the title of my book? I was loving that. It's Let's Give Them Pumpkin to Talk About.
Perfect.
Oh my God, I died.
That's
A spicy fall romance.
Oh,
There was a mass market erotica line called Blue Moon that I used to sell with PGW in the early days of my career, like 25 years ago or so. And one of their titles was "Choose Your Weapon."
Oh, oh my God.
Yes.
Help me.
I know.
Yeah, the puns are just like, maybe is that a job that we could just come up with
it seems to be a job, yeah, full-time
I think
job.
it's a job. Let's give them pumpkin to talk about. We were dying in the back. And I was like, this is like this, the grids were due for like spring stuff or early stuff. This is a book that's not coming out until like next August. I was just like, oh my God, help me. Anywho, okay, Julia, save me.
How could I pull you away from pumpkin to talk about? But I will.
Thank you.
Speaking of pumpkin, I'm gonna do a cookbook because
Yum.
I feel like we need some respite. So we have Pani Dulce, the Latin American baking book coming. It's coming out tomorrow from Brian Ford. So you may remember in the throes of lockdown, when everyone was making bread, there was Brian Ford's previous book was called New World Sourdough. It looked like this. Maybe it's coming. There we go.
Ooh.
And that sold very well. I know a lot of people made sourdough from this book. So now we have a collection of his Latin American recipes from all over Latin America. So pan cubano, empanadas de carne. He has, for those of you who may know Porto's in Los Angeles, I don't know about you. My favorite thing there is the guava cheese pastelitos, and
Oh,
he made those for us at our sales conference, and I was the one telling everyone, you got to eat these ones because I know that they're good. And they were, oh God, some of the best. Amazing. So it's, both sweet and savory, but you can see some of the great baked goods he's got here.
Lan.
It's just a beautiful cookbook. It got a starred review from Booklist. And he is a wonderful cook and baker. And like I said, he's sort of known for sourdough. Sorry, I was trying to see where his family is from, but I'm not sure. But he, I know he's known for his sourdough, but the baked goods in this book are amazing. And like I said, from
okay.
all over Latin America. So
Did you have to show that sandwich? I'm
Sorry.
starving.
sorry, dinner time. So anyway, thank you. Thanks, Amanda. Honduran American. Brian Ford's family is, but like I said, these are recipes from all over Latin America. And just wonderful recipes of all sorts of different kinds of baked goods and really fun to make. So
looks amazing.
Yeah.
Can somebody, like you said, can somebody just make that stuff for me and just send it to me? Oh my God. You were at NOLA last week, Andrea? Good on you.
Yes.
Oh, love it.
A tribal elder from the Bishop Paiute community here. It was her bucket list. It's on her bucket list, and she'd never been there. And so my partner and I used to travel there on business quite a lot in the 90s. And so we've been there a lot. And so we took her and her boyfriend and showed them the sights.
Love it. Love it.
It was actually, I'm really glad we were there.
Yeah.
It
absolutely.
It's helpful.
Amazing. Okay, Gabe went off screen. Gabe, does that mean you left us?
Nope.
Okay. Are you ready
I was just kidding, Gabe. You do get a lightning round pick.
Yeah, you really do.
Okay. I'm done throwing my tantrum. My silent protest. They're usually not that silent.
It was a very visual protest.
Yes.
Is it my turn already?
It's your turn.
Wow, I never thought it would never come.
Oh, Gabe.
This giant cast.
Gabe's back.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Stop it.
So I'm talking about Grand Prix, another book that's been out a little bit, but I don't know if anybody's talked about it yet. It's from 10 Speed. I think it's got a pretty good price. It's like $29.99. It's like that big. So it's a big gift book. And, there's a lot of the cool thing about F1 right now is that it's always been like the sport of kings. It's always been a very cool, the race car driver. I may not be back in the morning, so we should make the best of tonight kind of thing. And there's a fascination somewhere, with people like, what's his name? One of the kids, Mooney, from one of those Fox TV shows is now racing cars. James Garner raced cars. He did a Grand Prix movie. Paul Newman raced cars. So there's this fascination with car racing of any level. So what this book does, and Grand Prix is really blowing up. And I think that it sort of seems to be continues to grow in this country. And this book is a good book it's a good primer. And it's also good for like somebody who's been around a long time, because there's like little cartoony sketches of the various great drivers. Here's opened up to James Hunt, who was an unlikely American driver in the circuit back in like the 60s, 70s. We go through the decades. So then so there's these, caricatures and a brief biography of the success of the racer, what they did or what they were known for, or how they died. And you don't know everybody that was around. So there are all these great little snapshots. Then he does like the race of the decade. As the decade ends, he does the race of the decade. He's got the various, in the beginning, he's just a quick primer of racing. These are the various types of racing there are, from like e-cars, which are electronic, to like Indy cars, which are on the oval, and rally cars. And so it's racing. I think it's for the car aficionado and the racing person. I think at $30, it's got a really good price for what it is. And I think with a lot of people just taking up Formula One in the last couple of years. They get to see a little bit of what has gone on in some of the major players over the decades. So they know what they're talking about when they're gathered around the taco dip or whatever one serves at a F1 party. I think just a fun book, quick, good coffee table book, easy gift book, I think.
I was just gonna say, great gift book. Really good gift book.
And that's it.
All right.
Lightning.
Thank you, Gabe.
Grease
Lightning
lightning.
around. So grease lightning, baby. All right, Tom, wrap us up.
I'm going to take you back to August 14th, 2020. You were baking bread, perhaps. You were watching Tea Time, right?
We were doing it.
And you were watching Ted Lasso, more than likely. That day, that was the day Ted Lasso premiered on Apple with 3 episodes. So this book it's called Believe, the untold story behind Ted Lasso, the show that kicked its way into our hearts. It's out tomorrow. So it's one of these books that is, I mean, we used to have to wait a long time for these kind of books to feel nostalgic for, that show that we love. But now it doesn't take long. I'm nostalgic for Ted Lasso. And I think there's talk of a season 4, but no one's sure yet. So in the meantime, this is a great gift book for that Ted Lasso fan. Jeremy Egner is the TV editor of the New York Times, and he's a Ted Lasso fan. And so he interviewed all the actors, all the behind the scenes people, to give a full story of how it came to be and then how it took off the way it did. So we need more Ted Lassos. So that's pretty much it, but Believe.
Yep. But I do agree, Tom, because I think as a collective, we don't have as much brain power. It's like things are just like, because everything just goes like this.
Right.
So our nostalgia isn't for things that were 10 years ago. It's nostalgia for things that were 2 years ago.
Exactly.
It's just like, holy cow.
I know. That's awesome.
All right. I love it. Okay. Those were some really great, really, really great books. I think we really covered something for everybody this week. And I can't wait, Andrea, to tell Mary about that book because she was asking about it the other day. So with that, everyone, happy reading. We have what do we got? We got Matt Coyle coming next week or tomorrow. I mean, if you're local watching, Matt's going to be back at the store doing paperback, and then Rinpoche will be here on Thursday. And then next week we have Sebastian Younger coming. So I'm super excited about that. I mean, it was really funny because we hosted Sebastian years ago. Great, took him off site, big thing. And then we hosted him in 2021 and I looked and we only had like 30 people show up, but we have got like 80 people coming. So it's going to be a great event. So Sebastian, 2021, I guess people were still not coming out to events. I was having them because people were still feeling like they shouldn't be coming to events. It kind of makes me feel good that they're like coming back in droves for him. What are you showing us, Andrea? You're on mute.
Something we need to see for sure.
But you're muted.
I know. Sorry. That's the last night I was walking around. This is an edifice of a beautiful old French colonial building at the edge of the French Quarter. The city was particularly beautiful this time. I don't know why. Could have been my mood.
Yep. But it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I got to ramble out.
Okay, Gabe, good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Peace out. And to everybody else, we're going to be heading out too. So, let's see. I think I'm gonna, let's see. I don't know whether, well, I guess we should stop the recording, Amanda. Yeah.
Amanda asked you to mention rep night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're having rep night on December 5th. And so some of the lovely people who were here, Tom and Julia, will be there along with Shannon. And I'm going to try and convince Gabe to do some recommendations.
I was just going to say, he should also be there.
I know. I'm hoping that he'll be able to do that. So I did miss that, Amanda. So that's on December 5th. So, yeah, I don't see, anyways. So I'm going to have to shut down the webinar for everybody. So y'all, have a good week, and we'll see you all next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.